القوي فوق عباده فلا يدافع، الظاهر عليهم فلا ينازع، الحاكم بما يريد فلا يراجع، الممسك المعطي فلا يمانع. نحمده جلت حكمته وعز سلطانه على ما أخذ وأعطى وعلى ما أبلى وابتلى، ونستعيذ به من سلب نعمته أو إحقاق نقمته، ونستغفره مما أحاط به علمه وأحصاه كتابه، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدًا عبده ورسوله ابتعثه ربه والناس يضربون في ظلمه ويموجون في حيرة، فبلغ وأدى ونصح وكشف وخلف في الأمة راية الله الثقيلة. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. We bear witness that there is no God except Allah. We bear witness that there is no deity that we worship. There is no deity that is worthy of worship except Allah. And we bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is the last of his prophets and the seal of his messengers. He delivered the message, fulfilled the mission, and he strived in the path of Allah. He left behind for us what, as long as we're holding tight on, we will never go astray. And once we abandon, we will never find guidance. The book of Allah and the traditions, the sunnah of his messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Amma ba'd. Every one of us look for success. Success, whether it's on a personal level or on a family level or a community level or organization, masjid, school, nation, the entire ummah, we always look for success. We always look for falah, the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frequently uses in the Quran when we make the adhan for salah, hayya ala al-falah, among many other words that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses in the Quran to refer to success. Through the Quran, and even outside the Quran, you can read many advices about tips and advices about how to be successful. And even in the Quran, there are multiple different ayat that refers to this concept. One of those ayat is something that I think many of us are familiar with, but it's very much worth highlighting and reflecting on, because it will give a recipe from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of success, how someone can be successful. The last line, the last ayah of Surah Al-Imran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. 4 ingredients. Normally we would translate the ayah and then talk more kind of in depth about the tafsir. But I will not do that this time. One of the reasons is actually 2 of the key words in this ayah are really difficult to translate. When you read the English translation of them, you're going to find a lot of different translations, because all of them, they're trying to explain the word more than, there is no equivalent word in English to put it there and plug it there. Let's look at the ayah. It starts easily with, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, O you who believe. And it ends with لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, so perhaps you would attain the falah, the success. That's the end product. And what's in between? 4 things. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اصْبِرُوا. This one is easy, from sabr. We all are familiar with sabr. It's a command, have sabr, show patience. A lot of times sabr is translated as patience, which is very reasonable translation. However, it's partial translation. I'm sure all of us have heard many khutbahs about sabr before. I'm not going to start from scratch. But there are some misperceptions when it comes to sabr. One of the biggest ones is actually we always connect the concept of sabr, patience, with something that is negative, with a tragedy, with a hardship, calamity, difficulty. And to an extent, yeah, that's correct. Those are examples where sabr becomes very important, and they highlight sabr. We need sabr to go through these situations. But that's absolutely not the only place where you find sabr in. Without a doubt, sabr is an ingredient that goes into every single thing that we do in our life, big or small, happy or sad, easy or difficult. There need to be sabr. Now, sometimes it may not be too much sabr. Yes, it could be a little bit of sabr, depends on that situation. Sabr, you also translated very correctly as endurance, perseverance, steadfastness, resilience, commitment, persistence. All of these meanings, they stem from the concept of sabr. Now think about it. If a little kid is learning ABCD, is learning how to read, that's not a tragic situation. That's not like, a disaster that's happening. But without sabr, they will not achieve it. And the one who's teaching them, it's not like they're going through the worst situation in their life. They're just teaching a child. But without sabr, they will not achieve the outcome. When someone is learning how to read the Quran, it's not going to happen in a day or two. And without sabr, without persistence and perseverance, it will not happen. There is no sadness here. There is no tragedy. This is no calamity or anything. But sabr is essential in almost everything. Someone is learning how to drive. They're happy, they're excited. They're going to have a car and drive and become independent. But without sabr, this is not going to happen. Sabr is something that goes in so many things, in almost everything. Then literally think about it. And then what is sabr exactly here? Very simple. Anytime I and you and any one of us is doing something that is out of their comfort zone, something that is not comfortable, something that our own soul, our own nafs does not necessarily strive for, we need sabr. It doesn't have to be a sad thing. We need sabr. Hard working needs sabr. Hard working is bringing money, and I'm happy and I'm enjoying. Yeah, sure, but without sabr, it's not going to happen. Sometimes actually, it's not something that is difficult that we're doing. Because if it's difficult, of course it needs sabr. Waking up for Fajr to come to the masjid. Wallahi, without sabr, it's not going to happen. We may do it once a month, but we need that sabr to do it. Being persistent in the ibadah and the ta'ah needs sabr. Without that, it will not happen. Now, it's not just only that we're doing something difficult and that we need sabr. Sometimes what I'm doing is not that difficult. But guess what? I'm doing it over and over, and I'm not seeing the results. And here we need sabr. It has been at least 10 months in this masjid and in almost all masajid in the entire Muslim ummah. And we Muslims have been praying and making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift the calamity and the hardship of our brothers and sisters in Gaza and Palestine and everywhere in the Muslim world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them and be with them and grant them victory. And then what happened? I mean, just be realistic. Nothing happened. Nothing has changed. Then what would be the conclusion here? Maybe we've done enough. Let's stop. We don't need to do more. Absolutely. That's not the attitude of a Muslim. Why? Well, because of sabr. Sabr has to be there. Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, he called his people for centuries. Centuries. Why would someone keep doing that? What is their drive? It's sabr. You've been talking to the same person for 70 years and they keep saying no. Why would they say yes now? Well, with sabr, I will talk to them again. We need sabr sometimes when we're doing something that is not necessarily difficult. However, we are among the very few at all who are doing it. When you do something that no one else around you is doing, the only way you can keep doing it is to have sabr. It's not going to be fun. For our Muslim youth to show their identity and be proud of it in an ocean of non-Muslims, in this time, it's not easy. Without sabr, it will not happen. For our Muslim youth to have the afaf, the decency in the way they behave and they dress, in a time that it has become a rarity to see that, it's not easy. Without sabr, it will not happen. We need sabr in almost everything that we're going to do, whether it's a tragedy or not. Sabr is not a word that when we hear, we think of a tragedy and I need to be patient, passively patient. That's one way. Sometimes when we're helpless and the qadr of Allah happens and there's really nothing that we could do about it, yes, we need to have sabr, the counseling, you try to strengthen your heart and accept Allah's qadr. But that's only one aspect of it. When we hear the word sabr and we hear the word inna Allah ma'as sabirin, yes, it includes that inna Allah ma'as sabirin with those who are patient and tolerating Allah's qadr. But at the same time, it means Allah is with those who are working really hard, and the sabr is the only drive that keeps going, that keeps them going. That's the first one, the sabr. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sabiru. The second ingredient is more important. Wallahi, I personally, and that's my opinion, I don't know how effective we're doing sabr, but when you go to the second one, that's what we're failing. Mostly. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sabiru wa sabiru. Now, even if you don't know Arabic, you can tell that there's some similarity. And that is true. They're coming from the same root. So what is sabiru exactly? I don't want to turn this into an Arabic class lecture, but this is very important for us to understand the profound meaning of the second instruction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I just want to give you an example. If I'm sitting talking to a person, we're having conversation, and the little kid comes and is interrupting us. Little kid, doesn't know whether. I want to keep him busy. I want to help him play. Go play and leave us alone. I throw a ball for the kid. The kid is playing, is enjoying, and probably will bring it back to me, and I will throw it again. While the kid is playing, I'm talking, I'm having my conversation. Am I playing with the kid or not? I'm technically not. I'm just helping the kid play. Right? I'm not playing with him. Now the second scenario will be, I'm having that conversation, the kid comes, I throw the ball and I want to play with the kid. I'm running behind the ball just like he's running after the ball and he's laughing, I'm laughing, we're both playing. The first one, I was helping him play. The second one, I'm playing literally with him. Well, the first one, you say la'aba, and the second one, you say la'aba. There is sabbara and sabara. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, I want you to have musabara. Musabara is an interaction between two things, two people. Someone is having sabr, and I am going to show sabr. I'm not just supporting, I'm showing sabr. I'm doing something that is including sabr. And hopefully, when he or she sees that I am actually participating in that sabr, this hopefully will strengthen their heart. Maybe they will step up and show even more sabr. And when I see that, hopefully, I may not, but hopefully I'll be even more inspired and show more sabr. And those who are around us, few of them will be inspired by that and start to show more sabr. And this and that. Musabara is the recipe to spread the culture of sabr within the community. Once more, sabr is not just to tolerate the calamity. Sabr is to work hard. Sabr is to be committed. Sabr is to be resilient. Anytime we say the word sabr, those meanings have to be very clear. To persevere, that is sabr. This needs to be very clear in our mind. This is musabara. Now let me give you an example. Our brothers and sisters in Gaza have shown, may Allah be with them and reward them, those who are alive and those who have passed away, have shown an exemplary style of sabr. Something that you see like, once in a century. They have done their portion in their test. Now, how about us? I will come here, stand here, and give a beautiful speech and khutbah to support, our brothers and sisters, encourage them. We are with you. We're praying for you. Everything, beautiful speech. I'll put a beautiful post on Instagram and stuff, and then I'll come down, go to my car, drive home. My life will continue completely normal. This is great, and in no way I'm saying this is unimportant. This is very important. May Allah reward everyone who's doing that. But most certainly, this is not the musabara that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. By definition, musabara, both have to show some sabr. There has to be some pain. What is the sabr that I did here? I'm giving a speech to a friendly audience and go home. My life hasn't changed whatsoever. That's not the musabara. The musabara that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is expecting from us is while someone is paying some price, you also are paying some price. It doesn't have to be the same. We don't have to sacrifice our families and our kids, but sacrifice something else. When I'm doing the donation, that check of $500, does that check hurt or not? If my income is not hurt by the $500, may Allah accept it, and certainly will be accepted, will be rewarded, but this is not musabara. The musabara, it needs to hurt. Just like how they went through a pain of losing something, I'm showing them that I'm willing to support you by going through some pain. Waking up in the middle of the night to make dua for them, it's difficult. But when I'm doing that, I'm showing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm going through something. My life is not completely normal, and all what I'm doing is just type a few words here and there. Again, not dismissing the importance of doing that. The musabara is the way that people see actions. Our community, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam described, is like a brick wall. And in a brick wall, every time one of these bricks goes loose and falls off, those bricks around it start to become loose also. And the more of those bricks are falling off, the harder it is for the bricks that are left in the wall to still hold it. At some point, even though maybe half of the bricks are still there, the whole wall will collapse. Because each one depends on the other, and each one is supporting the other. This is what musabara is. Let me give you another example of musabara from the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We all are familiar with the Battle of Uhud. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave clear instructions to the archers. You stay there. Battle started. Everything's going perfect. Muslims almost won. We're almost done. And the archers did a mistake. We know without a doubt it wasn't intentional. Otherwise, they would be hypocrites. They're trying to hurt the Muslims. They did a misjudgment, they did a mistake, and the outcome was devastating. The outcome was that the Muslims lost, 70 of the Sahaba died. Those archers who misjudged, now they are the ones who are burying their friends with their own hands because of their mistake. I want you now to just imagine yourself one of these archers and think about it. How would you feel? Wallahi, how would you feel? Devastating. When that night, when you're trying to go to sleep, like, it's me. Everything was going wrong. Think about the sport. We all watch sports. And this one player who missed that chance that caused his team to lose the final. How do you think they're going to feel about it? Horrible. Someone did a mistake, and now everyone paid for it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was injured in the battle. He himself was injured in the battle. Now the battle is over. What do you think the reaction would be? Well, there is one possibility. Let's get them here, stand in line in front of the commander-in-chief, and he will say, it is because of you we lost. It is because of you these people are dead. You did not listen to the instructions. And in fact, actually, they did not. No question. There's no defense here. They did not. It is you and you. And guess what they will say? Yeah, but the instructions were not clear. It is you. No, it is you. It is him. It is her. The blame game will start. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in those ayat that He revealed right after talking about the Battle of Badr, وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا. Do not dispute and argue, or else you're going to fail. This is a recipe of failure. Not that it happened. Rasulullah ﷺ showed the example of how do we handle situations like this, even though people are hurt because of someone's fault. He absolutely blamed no one. When they are devastated and they are trying to show sabr and come through, the rest of the Muslims and Rasulullah ﷺ will show the same sabr and remain silent, even though that I know it was entirely your fault. We are one body. This is how those people will continue to feel that they belong. They didn't do it on purpose. They belong and they are respected. And this is how they will improve next time. Another example of musabara is as simple as when someone is trying to improve their behavior. It's very easy. We don't need sabr to misbehave. It's very easy to behave. It's very easy to be destructive. It takes a lot of more composure and restraint to behave in a good way, in a good fashion. And if I'm trying to do that, but I don't see any support from the people around me, it's only making it harder for me to keep doing it. When people volunteer, when they volunteer their time and their effort and they leave their family and they're running behind this and that, when they don't see the support, we're just making it harder on them to continue. When the load is heavy and some people carrying, they're counting on others to come and help and carry it. And if they're not, then sooner or later, unfortunately, that load is going to drop. We're all humans. There's only a certain level of capacity. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time. I'm going to jump quick to the third one, warabitu. Rabitu is very interesting. Rabata is to tie up. Rabata is a verb that is almost exclusively used to refer to warfare. The murabit is synonym to the mujahid, the one who stays next to the horse in a military camp close to the borders of the enemy. That's literally what murabit is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in the third instructions, warabitu, be like those people. Now, and that's one of the reasons that some of the mufassirin took that in a very clear way, that this ayah is referring to fighting the enemy, and the musabara is to compete in sabr against the enemy. And that's a valid meaning, but it's just a limited meaning. Rabitu has two elements. We'll be very quick. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have used many other words. Wa'malu, was'aw. Rabitu is not just to work. First we have sabr, and then we count on others to support us while we are also supporting others. It's an interaction. And then we need to have work, actions, but not any kind of work. Rabitu has two elements. One is hard work. Ribat is not just any work. Going to fight is not any work. It's a very hard work. And the second element is seriousness. One of the best translations of Rabitu is stay on high alert. That's literally what the murabit does. The murabit is the one who's protecting the borders, border patrol. And there could be, within an hour, I'm going to be engaged in a fight. So I'm on high alert all the time. And that's the third instruction and expectation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, having fun and entertainment and stuff is beautiful, nothing wrong with it, and it is absolutely halal in life. However, if my life is centered and revolving all around fun, from one fun to the second, to the third, to the fifth, to the 10th, and there's very little serious hard work, where will the success come from? Just let's be realistic. The success in my life, in my family life, in my community life. And the fourth one is wattaqullah. Wattaqullah, have taqwa of Allah. Very big word, but very easy meaning. That connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is one of the four absolutely necessary ingredients. Maybe the first three could be enough for a non-Muslim. But ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O you who believe, you need four of them. You need the taqwa. Without that taqwa, it's not going to work. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never, anywhere expected from any person, that you have to be the most righteous person who ever walked on earth. That's not the point. But there has to be some level of taqwa, some level of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the tawfiq comes, so the guidance comes. So this circle, this loop can be closed, that starts with sabr and ends with taqwa. Because the taqwa is the fuel that will keep the sabr going. So this circuit will keep going. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the successful in this life and in the hereafter. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. عباد الله، إن الله أمركم أمرا بدأ فيه بنفسه وثنى بملائكة قدسه وثلث بالعالم من جنه وإنسه فقال ولا يزال قائلا حكيما إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أيد الإسلام والمسلمين وانصر وأعلي يا مولانا كلمتي الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه ومن أراد بهم غير ذلك فاجعل دائرة السوء عليه برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما أعلنا وما أنت أعلم به منا يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا عسرا إلا يسرته ولا كربا إلا نفسته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شافيته ولا مقطوعا إلا وصلته ولا غافلا إلا نبهته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا بعيدا عنك إلا إليك قربته ولا مظلوما إلا نصرته ولا ظالما إلا قصمته ولا حاجة لنا من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها عنا فيما يرضيك يا قاضي الحاجات يا سامع الأصوات يا مجيب الدعوات يا رب الأراضين والسماوات. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات بمنك وكرمك يا أكرم الأكرمين. Just a quick reminder, please don't forget the masjid from your donations on your way out. The masjid relies entirely on these donations. On Fridays and also in the fundraising. There will be fundraising coming later this month on the 21st. Please participate in it in whatever capacity. This is part of the musabara that we were talking about. And on that same day there will be anchored by the Quran event with a lot of nationally renowned speakers that will participate in addition to our imams. Make sure that you register in it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وأقم الصلاة.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
رسول الله حقا. Please straight your line. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Quick reminder, inshallah, we have our fall fundraiser on the 21st, Saturday the 21st of September. It's a lunch from 11 to 2. Registration link has been sent out via email, via newsletter, on the WhatsApp groups, and also on our app as well as the website. But also we have a QR code on the poster on your way out. You can scan it. It's in all three buildings. You can scan this QR code to be able to register for that, inshallah. And then following that at 5, we have the Anchored by the Quran event here at ICGC as well on the same day. We have the business showcase and social ice cream next Saturday. It is going to be in the Mirror Hall from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So please attend if you can. As well as we have the tonight, inshallah, program at Ihsan, the birth of the Prophet ﷺ. It's going to be the Ihsan in Milford. It's going to be from 7 to 10 as well. And that's tonight, inshallah. We also have Keys to Jannah support group starting on the 6th of August, so this Sunday. It's every Sunday at 11:30 for those who are interested in joining that to learn about the special groups that we have at ICGC as part of our community. We also do have the Quran Connection registration starting at that still ongoing, and it's going to start on the 9th, inshallah. It's going to be starting on the 9th of September. Friday night program starts on the 20th, and then registration is still open. Zahrawat is going to be every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12:30, starting this 7th of September. And then we have the library as well as the chess club. Library is on Tuesdays and chess club is on Thursdays for those who are interested. The weekly khatira is every Wednesday after Maghrib, and then as well as the weekly halaqa in Quran recitation with Sheikh Mahmood every Saturday after Fajr, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.